Fortnite Chapter 5 is here, and today I'm going to be giving all my initial thoughts. So this is the Chapter 5 initial review. Before that, let's talk about the event. Now, I plan on making a whole other video about it, so here are just a few thoughts. And I'm gonna be honest, the event was kinda meh. It's no Fracture, but it's also no Mech v Monster. The main issue I had with the event was the lack of story. Now, call me a nerd all you want, but without story, the event just kinda feels like an ad. Now, I find a lot of people seem to mix up the word ad and bad. Just because Fortnite was promoting their new modes doesn't make the event bad. It's just without story or context, the event feels purposeless. In my opinion, the best event was Mech vs Monster, and the story is a driving reason as to why. Let's break it down. Starting in Season 7, we had the arrival of the iceberg, and underneath Polar Peak was a frozen monster. Fast forward to Season 8, the volcano erupted and damaged the iceberg. Now in Season 9, the monster broke free, leading the Imagined Order to construct a mech. By the end of Season 9, these two had an epic battle, which ends in the robot grabbing the statue in the center of Neo Tilted, which was a new POI added that season, to slay the monster. See, this event managed to incorporate things across many seasons, but the best part is that you could connect the dots back to those seasons. Like, hey, the monster was here ever since Season 7, or, oh, they built the mech in the crater of the volcano after it erupted. Now, all these things together give the event purpose, like it happened for a reason, instead of just, oh, hey, cool new Fortnite event, please watch. I have one more comment on the event, and it's that the majority of it was just a cutscene. A cool cutscene, I'll give you that, but it's not an event. What made older events so good, like the Mech vs Monster, is that we were in control at all times. Sure, throwing in a cutscene mid-event is good, like Chapter 2 the end, but being in control of our camera and our movement makes us feel like we are actually witnessing something happen instead of just watching it like a movie. In the end, I think as a standalone event, it was good, but it being a chapter finale and being a year in the making, I'd give it a 6 out of 10. Also, the Eminem bit was kind of mid. They played like half a song. Alright, what was the point of the video again? Oh, right. If you've watched my previous reviews, you know that I start with the map. I gotta say, this map is pretty good. The POIs, on the other hand, are kinda up and down. Some are too small, some are too big, but the majority seem to be alright. However, they still have one glooming issue: memorability. Name a POI from Chapter 1 that didn't have a catchy name. Fine, Neo Tilted, I'll give you that. But I think a major reason as to why so many people know and remember these OG POIs is because they had a catchy name. I never landed Haunted Hills back in Chapter 1, but I remember it because it had a catchy name. But not just having the same letter at the start, having the syllable thing. What's the syllable thing? I'll give you an example. The worst POI name to date is Kenjutsu Crossing, and count the syllables for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Too many, too long. So what's the limit? 2 to 4. I can back this up. Pleasant Park, Paradise Palms, Greasy Grove, Lazy Links, Polar Peak, Tilted Towers, Lonely Lodge. You get the point. Anyways, I was supposed to give you an example. Which POI name is better? No bias. Pleasant Park, Pleasant Piazza. The first one. Why? The other one is just a mouthful. But you're probably saying to yourself, most of the POIs aren't 5 or more syllables, so what's the problem? It's still a mouthful. Reckless Railway is 4 syllables, however it still feels like too much. That's why most POI names in Chapter 1 have 3 syllables. It's usually a big word followed up by a very short one, keeping it short and sweet. And by using this strategy, I can turn Kenjutsu Crossing into Kenjutsu Core, which is actually a good name, even though it doesn't fit the theme of the POI. Now, I still have so much to say about this, but I think that'll be a separate video as I am getting way too deep into this. And to wrap it up, obviously over time POI names will have to get more complicated in order to not repeat, but when you name a place Snooty Steps, I'm just not gonna like it because the word snooty and steps don't go well together. To finish the map, we have the best POI in my opinion, Classy Court, which is 3 syllables by the way. I do like that there is a lot of open space on the map and it leaves room for future map evolution without getting rid of new POIs. With all this being said, the map is still missing one thing: old POIs. And I'm not saying half the map, just like 1 or 2. It's a good way to give OG players some footing when entering a new chapter, and it makes the map actually feel like Fortnite and not some hyper-realistic VR. So to give the map a rating, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Psych, the yacht's back, baby! Woo! 9 out of 10. Okay, loophole time. It's giving me Chapter 3 flashbacks. Just like Chapter 3, I gotta say, the shotguns are pretty weak, mostly the pump. Unless you have this attachment, then it's tolerable. Also like Chapter 3, the SMGs and the SCAR are so broken, especially with the brand new weapon attachments. These are some things that have been leaked for years, and I'm so happy to finally see them in the game. Now obviously at first, they're not going to be anything special, just some minor buffs, but in the future, I really hope to see Epic add more attachments that really change up the playstyle of guns. Even with these awesome weapon attachments, the loophole still isn't perfect, like the weapons not being hit fire. It's just not a good nerf for the broken ARs. It's harder to hit shots and makes gameplay less enjoyable when you could just make the gun shoot slower. Now the sniper is so fun, even though it's broken, which is for all these guns, but this is a special scenario where I actually don't want it to be nerfed. Although the Scar is fun, it's not fun to fight against, but I can't say the same thing for the sniper. What I can say is that going from the pump to this abomination is a disgrace to Fortnite itself. Hashtag keep the pump forever. And the final big change to the loot pool are medallions, and wow, are they broken. Update, not so broken. Loot pool's a 7.5 out of 10. Content. There is a lot of content we have to get. I mean, this is a new chapter after all. So let's not waste any more time and dive into the hook of the chapter's content. The train. The train to me is a little overhyped for what we got. Sure, it's cool, but it's nothing to go crazy over. It just seemed rushed somehow. And I think that's because there isn't much to do. It's kind of just a moving hallway with a capture point. Now you already know what I'm about to say. Just let us go inside. No, seriously, that will fix it. The train is a really cool concept. Moving on to the UI. Change and the one we're about to get to just seems like very unnecessary changes. Up until this, the Fortnite UI was perfect. It had its own unique style while also being very easy to navigate. Now you can't even find Battle Royale. Not that you'd want to, considering the look of the UI is now an eyesore. Now yes, the look pisses me off, but that's not why I hate this new UI. I hate this new UI because it's impossible to navigate. Ever since we got the leak of this locker, I have been dreading Chapter 5, because the last good thing about the UI is coming to an end. The locker. Unfortunately, this has happened, which means I'm gonna tell you why it's bad. Getting rid of rarities is the worst decision since making this a Fortnite season. Instead of having an outline around your character, allowing you to easily find skins from that rarity, we now have nothing, just your skin in the locker. Which, if you have a lot of skins, is pretty much forcing you to use the search system. And if you play in controller, which I don't, you know why that isn't a great alternative. And some side notes I couldn't really fit into the script. On PC, it won't let me favorite any skins, and I can't unfavorite them either. The new search system on the locker where you can put in like seasons, archive, that is just so much worse to navigate. I don't know why it was there. I don't know why it was added. Okay, that's it. Back to rarities. Now you're probably saying, actually, you can see the rarity in the bottom left. Yeah, but now it just seems like a price tag instead of, hey, look at this legendary skin I got. Anyways, it's time. Like I said at the start of the UI rant, unnecessary changes. Changing the movement never even crossed my mind for the 6 years I've been playing this game. Point is, this did not need to change. Why did it change? Because it needed to be more realistic. I'm sorry, who wanted this? Who asked for this? Who needed this? And to put that aside for a second, I don't really care that much about the new animations, even though I do look like I had a dozen cans of beer before my Fortnite game. The thing that made me sit down and debate playing this season is the speed. I'd say I'm an above average Fortnite player. I can triple edit so I can build. But with this new speed, I feel like I have turbo building off. Build fights are just so slow, I can't even... Hold on, they said they changed it back. I can't confirm this, but the movement feels like it's back to normal. But I do still want to keep this upcoming part in, because it shows how bad this update went with the player base. CypherPK, the king of glazing Fortnite, tweeted that he didn't like the Fortnite movement and thought it was pretty not good. And let me say it again. CypherPK said this. The guy who made this was not cooking with this one, okay? I don't know what your little realistic vision. It just didn't fit, okay? That was not good. Maybe the death threats are a little too far, okay? Maybe we went a little too far with the death threats. Maybe we could tone the death threats down. Maybe the death threats weren't the best idea, you know? Maybe we can no death threats, all right? I'm just saying. Anyways, 0% of the player base asked for this. 0% of the player base wanted this. Okay, I can't prove that, but come on, you didn't want this, did you? You like the old movement better, right? Okay, I'm done ranting. We're done with the movement, all right? It's the same speed. We're fine. And also death threats. Maybe, yeah, no. Okay. All right. No. Hell no. No, I'm not talking about the 3 modes. Come on. The chapter's been out for what, like 3-4 weeks? I need to upload. The 3 modes, they're all good. That's it. That's all you're getting. So to rank the content, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. The movement and the UI really bring this one down. And to give this season an initial rating, it's a 6.5 out of 10. Without the new modes. With them, a 9 out of 10. But nostalgia will never let me rank it higher than any of these seasons. Anyways, new video soon? Like 3-4 days soon? And I'm also bringing shorts back. Like it's